A busy night in Jacksonville City Council as lawmakers talk about Confederate monuments and rising gas prices. Everything you need to know next at 11.
And we explain the settlement that has the city throwing thousands of dollars at some Jacksonville strip clubs.
Right now at 11, what happened to William Bloom? It's been 2 years, and to this day, his family is still searching for answers.
Plus, new and heartbreaking details about what happened in the moments before a pilot died after crashing her plane in St. Augustine earlier this month.
And another night of tornado outbreaks across the South. Why we need to keep an eye on this storm system that's moving our way. Thank you for staying up with us tonight at 11. I'm Anthony Austin.
And I'm Heather Crawford. We're going to have those stories in just a moment. But first, tonight's Jacksonville City Council meeting was jam-packed with agenda items. But the topic that dominated public comment tonight was once again the removal of Confederate monuments. On your sides, Haley Harrison joins us live with the latest on what continues to be a very heated issue. Haley.
Well, Heather, almost every person who went up to the podium to speak tonight was either for or against the removal of Confederate monuments. Now, this is all coming up again because Councilmember Matt Carlucci filed a resolution last week calling on the city to come up with a new plan, which includes community input by the end of this July. Now, the resolution itself was not discussed by council members. It was simply just introduced tonight, but we'll, of course, keep following this heated issue as it moves through council. So stick with us on air and online at firstcoastnews.com. Live outside City Hall, I'm Haley Harrison, First Coast News, on your side.
Haley, thank you. Now, before that city council meeting started tonight, the North Side Coalition of Jacksonville called for the Confederate monuments to be taken down. Community leader Ben Frazier, who you see right here, says that they commend council member Matt Carlucci's efforts to remove the statues. Also tonight, the city council voted to withdraw a bill that could have dropped the gas tax in Jacksonville. But that's because one city councilman is working to propose another bill that could provide better relief at the pump. So the original bill would have only provided relief for a month. But Councilman Garrett Dennis wants to create a situation that would provide months of relief. And the council approved a new redistricting map tonight that could bring lawsuits against the city. It was approved by a vote of 17-1. Last month, 4 civil rights groups claimed that the new map consolidates black voters and limits their representation on council. They claim that it violates the Voting Rights Act and a ban on gerrymandering. While many council members praised the new map, Councilman Roy Diamond was the one council member who voted against it.
Right now, you're taking a live look at I-95 southbound at West 8th Street, where crews are working to fix a crack in the concrete with the bridge. Late this afternoon, the Florida Department of Transportation said it would be closing a few lanes through the overnight hours in order to fix the road. So that includes pouring concrete. They expect to reopen the lanes in time for morning rush hour. Also tonight, parts of Edgewood Avenue in Jacksonville are open again after a massive fire broke out on the railroad underneath an overpass. Jacksonville Fire and Rescue says flames were as high as 40 feet after a crane broke down. It's been an agonizing wait for a Jacksonville woman trying to determine how her brother died. Today marks 2 years without answers, and tonight she shares her hope of finding out what happened with On Your Side's Robert Bradfield.
Right now at 11, some stunning video of another tornado, this one on camera, moving through the lower 9th Ward of New Orleans tonight. As another night of storms breaks out across the South, the damage left behind, we've seen debris scattered across neighborhoods, so many neighborhoods. This area, of course, devastated when Hurricane Katrina made landfall years ago. And Chief Meteorologist Tim Deegan joins us now.
And Tim, this is a storm that we're keeping our eye on because it's moving our way.
Absolutely. Let's take a look. And as Heather mentioned, the lower 9th, that's exactly where the worst of the levee break, the most tragic portion of Katrina hit. There's New Orleans, Mobile, Florida Panhandle. It was last night this time that we talked about the fact the storm came together in a violent way. Many areas of Texas, but especially along the I-35 corridor, Austin up to Dallas. And although that overall system, meteorologists call it a QCLS, that is a quasi-linear convective system. Just think of it as a squall line. Once they form, they almost become their own type of animal. They inhale, they exhale the new area of the worst of the weather today has been along I-55. Think New Orleans through Jackson, Mississippi, and then northward. It's no longer quite as strong, but still, this is a tornado watch, and there is a tornado warning now, or there was a tornado warning until just moments ago. So this is the squall that went through the New Orleans area, showing what looks like different tornadoes. It may have been the same storm system. This is the lower ninth here on the river, and then went across Lake Pontchartrain, raced off to the northeast as the squall raced off toward the east. There had been a tornado warning over Mobile. They're watching this closely in Atlanta and Birmingham because the storm system heading to the northeast. Right now, these are storms producing wind damage, not tornadoes at the present time. Just wanted to show you the vantage point to where we are. This is still on the other side of the panhandle. We're going to be quiet here on the First Coast. In fact, this is briefly at least some good news. Mobile had been under a tornado warning. They're not at the present time. Going into the Doppler for a while, we're able to see a little circulation there. We'll zoom in. That again, not showing up too strongly. That's good news. Went into a place called Spanish Point, but you can see how the Florida Panhandle is next. So what about us? Real quickly, relatively quiet, although winds picking up until early in the afternoon. That's a general look. We'll break it down for you county by county in just a few moments.
And a reminder for you, you can take our weather team's forecast on the go with our free First Coast News app. If you don't have it, text us. We'll send you the link so you can download it. Text the word app, APP, to that number on your screen. It's 904-633-2402.
And if you're having issues or concerns with the cost of your housing going up, we want to hear from you. We're on your side. You can email our On Your Side team right now. That email address, onyourside@firstcoastnews.com. Still ahead tonight at 11, a warning for everyone as the war in Ukraine continues.
The Biden administration warning that Russia could start targeting us and our technology.
You're watching First Coast News on your side with Heather Crawford and Anthony Austin.
Day 2 of Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson's confirmation hearings just wrapped up about an hour ago, and it was another long and contentious day of questioning for the judge who has been tapped by the Biden administration to fill the empty seat on the Supreme Court. Another round of questioning for the judge is set to start again early tomorrow morning. And there is a warning tonight about possible cyber attacks on American businesses.
The White House says that it has evolving intelligence that Russia could be preparing attacks to target U.S. companies. Now, the Kremlin rejects those allegations, saying that it doesn't engage in that sort of activity. And now to the latest on the war in Ukraine. The Biden administration is preparing to unveil a plan to expedite the resettlement of some Ukrainian refugees. This is according to 3 NBC sources, that they'll be relocating them here in the U.S. Now, they say the plan would allow vulnerable Ukrainians, including activists, journalists, and those who are part of the LGBTQ community, to safely enter the United States, at least temporarily. Also, today, the State Department announced 4 pediatric oncology patients in Ukraine were transported to St. Jude's Children's Hospital in Memphis after Russia's attack on the country disrupted their cancer treatment. And during his trip to Europe this week, President Biden may announce that the U.S. plans to permanently maintain an increased number of U.S. troops deployed in NATO countries near Ukraine.
So who's winning this war? Tonight, our Jeannie Blaylock and military expert on which side has the advantage the longer the conflict goes on.
Now, your most accurate forecast from the First Coast News weather team, sponsored by AC Designs.
And if there's anything I can add in a positive way, if at all, at least in the Ukraine, of course, they're also in spring, and they're going to experience some of their first days where temperatures will make it up to 60. Remember, most certainly don't have heat. First couple of days are going to make it up to 60 since last fall. Okay, back here closer to home, spring very often, especially down south, and especially from Texas and on eastward through the south, means occasionally there are tornadic outbreaks, and this is one that is ongoing, although it's not quite as strong now as it was last night in Texas, and we think that trend will continue. Doesn't mean that we're not going to have some storms tomorrow. We will, but I don't think there's going to be a solid line of damaging storms heading our way. So again, the highest risk of storms and the earliest risk of storms will be for those of you upper around Waycross, maybe as early as 10 a.m. And for those of you out around Lake City, maybe as early as 11 a.m. For the rest of us, the risk of severe weather is still there. It's just not as high. We'll, of course, watch it very closely with you as we go through the day and then through Wednesday night and into Thursday. But for most of the rest of us, I think as far as the risk of strong, possibly severe storms after about 2 p.m. Certainly not a good day at all to be on the water. Just be aware of the fact if you're going to be even near the water, that squall line will be coming at you from the west. Then comes Thursday. Still not a walk in the park. A lot of heavy rain, going to be some thunderstorms, but I think on Thursday the risk of severe thunderstorms will be pretty much I-4 south. Here comes spring. Cool mornings, clearing skies, sun-drenched afternoons right on through the weekend.
We'll take it, Tim. Groomed by the best. Jaguars wideout Christian Kirk expected to be the team's #1 receiver. Find out the trio he's crediting for helping to put him in this position. Plus, Tony Baselli teamed up with a local sporting goods store to take some local student athletes on a shopping spree. Folks, we're pumping up the volume. Next in sports.
Let's take a look at your winning of Mega Millions numbers tonight. That jackpot, $39 million. Your winning numbers, 61, 8, 27, 21, 15, and that mega ball is 8. Good luck.
Celebrating Women's Her Story Month. First Coast News on your side.
From the Farrah and Farrah Sports Desk, it's First Coast Sports.
Hello, everybody. Whether you or the people around the NFL believe in Christian Kirk, one thing is for certain, that the wideout does not lack confidence. Kirk is without question a big addition to the Jaguars receiving corps as the squad tries to build a better offense around quarterback Trevor Lawrence. Time now for a sports moment. Sure to have you asking, seriously? It was pro day at Liberty today, and watch this throw from MALIK WILLIS. He launches a rocket into the air, and watch the receiver just glide under the ball. Whoop! There it is. Take another look one more time. MALIK WILLIS, one of the top quarterback prospects in the draft this year. Seriously?
I think it went really good. We had some stuff to clean up, but it's not like a real game. You only get one shot at that. I'm excited for my guys, the exposure they got, and I'm just glad that so many people showed up and they got eyes on them, because I just have so much faith in those guys, and I'm just blessed with another day to come out here and do what we keep doing.
Chief Meteorologist Tim Deegan and I have been talking about that for all day. Tim, 65 yards. That's it for sports. Yes, seriously, after this time out.
Sports is sponsored by Farrah and Farrah, protecting you and your family since 1979.
Strongest storms not until about 2, but the GMJ crew have a close look at it.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us tonight.
We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Surprise you, huh? Didn't say that.